want to continue. Today we called you because consequent upon those consultations, my brother Raila knows I'm naming my running mate. In fact, from Mombasa he came home to try to convince me to accept his choice of our sister Mother Karua. We did not agree, and I said, let's sleep over it. We slept over it, and last night we are at it. We did not again agree, so this is why we agreed that you name Mother and I'll name my running mate today as within. So ignore the interviews and what. No issue was Raila and me and my brothers, President Uhuru and my brother Gideon Moi. So, it so happens that my name, as we speak, is before the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission as a presidential candidate for Wiper Democratic Movement. And that is a legal position. I know some people have expressed doubts about what can happen. To be honest with you, I'll be very frank and open. Even if Oka had not been messed up under this legal situation, I would have convinced my brother Gideon to be my running mate. I can tell you that. I still may have to. I say the way forward is open, very open. And I'm going to lead in bringing this country together. Some people have very mistakenly argued, oh no, this is taking us back to 2007. If you are that type of a Kenyan, allow me to say, shame on you, with a lot of respect. And you want this country to go back to post-election violence of 2007? Why don't you, even if you want to be tempted to think that way, why don't you give me credit that I actually brought order to the country and stop the killing? And stop the killing. And ask yourself whether there was any killing at the strongholds of ODM Kenya as we then were before it became Wiper Democratic Movement. We saved literally this country. I'm quite sure we won't go that way again because we'll be winning this time. This time we're winning. This party has grown in leaps and bounds. As I speak to you, we have a candidature of about 106 members of parliament from across the country, from Moyale to Lungalunga, and from Dadaab to Kisii. This is a national movement. If, as I speak to you, we are the third largest political party during the 12th. My prayer and hope is that we are going to be either number 1 or number 2. We'll compete with our friends in Kano and others. So, the decision I'm about to take are to take into account the future of these candidates. 22 senatorial candidates, 11 governors, over nearly 400 MCAs. If I just wound up and said, Kwaheri ya konana, I devalue the ticket that you've been given. And worse still, by devaluing the same, others will take advantage and move into the party strongholds and make you look funny. I'm there to make sure you remain solid and dignified. I think that was some very brief remarks so that Kenyans know. That's why I say relax. There's no hostility here. This is brotherly contest and others. But as we move on, we'll keep reviewing our position. But if I live in this country, if people are saying strength of Mount Kenya region, Lower Eastern, I don't know which other part, they are going to be shocked. I am from a mountain on the eastern side. Actually neighbor to Professor Kithure Kindiki, whom I've mentored, a wonderful young Kenyan, Professor Kindiki. I actually appointed him secretary to Ministry of Constitutional Affairs, where our founding Secretary General, the late Mutula Kalonzo Jr. Mutula and Kindiki worked very closely together. And so, he did his best. I wish him well. Unite this country is our business. We want to unite. So, if the other side, Kwanza or something, had given it to Professor Kivore, they would have given it to me, because we're just divided by River Tana. And so when I say I'm from the eastern side of the mountain, they'll be shocked if I beat them completely in the mountain. Some of them said, I said I'm Kikuyu, I'm going to say I'm Luo or something. But the truth of the matter is, I understand every Kikuyu word you speak. And it is not because I learned it, but because it is the way it is. You pick it, the same kind of conversation. So I do not bore you. Allow me then to now give you my nomination as my running mate during the August 2022, August 9 election. I am pleased to introduce my brother Andrew Letepa Sunkuli.
Aha, wapi makofi? Wapi kelele? Wakirusha tunarusha, wakiannounce tuna announce. Wapi makofi? Wapi makofi ya Buffalo Soldier?
Thank you. But who is Andrew Letepa Sunkuli? You may wish to ask me. You congratulate him later. I'm not through with him. I'm not through with him yet. Andrew is a 59-year-old native of Narok County with a zest for life and community service. His life and career is underpinned by desire to transform the lives of ordinary people. As a grassroots community leader, he has a conviction that through education and empowerment, any individual household can rise to their full potential regardless of where they start their lives from. And please accept that he's a member of the Mark community, one community that had been marginalized from the colonial times up to now. The business center, because it is their land. What is academic history reads as follows. From May 1985 to May 1988, now I actually read in the first person singular, I undertook my undergraduate studies at Kenyatta University in Nairobi, where I graduated with a bachelor's degree in education with majors took me on a journey through psychology, statistics, history of education, a broad variety of literary genres and regional literatures, the history, structure and usage of the English language, as well as the practical skills of teaching and classroom delivery. He's an accomplished teacher. Give him a clap for it. In February 1982, November to November 83, Kenya for my advanced level high school education, where I majored in English, Divinity, and Kiswahili, which is a language spoken by 200 million people in Eastern Africa. And I graduated with top scores. I wish it was me, but it's in the first person singular. January 78 to November 81, I attended Kilgore Secondary School in Kenya, where I completed my certificate of secondary education. with a Division 1 score and emerging the top student that year in the entire province. In 1988 to December 88, I was employed by the National Teacher Service Commission and posted to a prestigious high school known as Kabarak High School, where I had a short stint as a teacher of literature and English language. I actually interrogated him, Brother Giddy, on this matter under a tree. I asked him he's a literature student myself, and I remember some of the set pieces. I gave him one of the soliloquies in the Shakespearean tragedies, and it started like this. One of those serious soliloquies. It says, time is out of joint, oh cursed spite, that I was born to set it right. He goes on to say, now I imagine if you're in Kenya today, wouldn't you think that time, like Shakespeare would have said, is out of joint, oh cursed spite. And then I wanted to say, because he was considering committing suicide, whether it is more honorable in the heart to suffer the slings of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them. I asked him, which of the Shakespearean tragedies was that? He had to Google a little bit. He ended up with Hamlet. He's an accomplished literature teacher. And that is what actually gave me myself the necessary backing to study law at the University of Nairobi. So I find a lot in common. And that is, gentlemen, I don't want to bore you with a lot of these things about him. January 74, director, chairman, and chief of a number of companies and organizations as follows. I founded and led the East African Leadership Center as executive chairman. Center was established to provide leadership training to middle-level managers of private, for-profit, not-for-profit organizations. With a staff of 30, we had a throughput of 600 individuals in those 9 years. My responsibilities included providing team leadership, ensuring the center stuck to its vision and core mandate, and overseeing all the key business processes. The East Africa Leadership Center was later sold to other investors. As the ELC was a small outfit, his salary stayed between $1,500 to $2,000 per month. Now, this tells you he knows how to begin humble. And my brother, should you become the President of the Republic, do not look at exhaustive numbers compared to this. And if you find you're earning so much, and of course the thing I'll tell you as your leader is you will never steal, because stealing will militate against all that what you try to do in trying to set up those qualities. January 2001 to 2003, while I was executive chairman of the East Africa Leadership Center, he served as a board director for Kenya Ports Authority, that is KPA, having been appointed to that position by the President of the Republic at the advice of the Minister in charge of Sports and National Transportation. The KPA Authority is a large public sector organization with 7,000 employees and a fairly profitable record. As director, he chaired 2 subcommittees of the board, namely procurement and human resources, and as chair of HR subcommittee, he led efforts to eliminate an actual deficit of over 100 million shillings, or dollars, I beg your pardon, which had nearly crippled the staff pension fund. He left the board voluntarily due to pressure of new assignments. And 2003 to 2006, he was chief executive officer and principal owner of Rappers Publishing, a company a friend and I established to help the government of